Okay, we got almost everything back. It's just one last thing that's missing, which is the chat doc. We're gonna hide that. We're gonna bring it back. Hopefully that worked. Doesn't seem like it worked. What's wrong with this thing? We almost had everything back. Okay, stats. No, I don't want that. Give me back the chat box. We're gonna hide that for a minute. Let's see. All right. 3, 2, 1. Chat box, are you back? Wait, is the stream even on now that I think about it? Stream, are you still on? Or did it die on me? Okay, so it says it's live. Refresh, everyone? Yeah, refresh and we should be good. Okay, it's back, but the chat box is dead, so I'm gonna have to look at a couple things later. In the meantime, I see something that'll allow me to see it from time to time, so I'll just have to scroll between the two, and we should be good. Anyway, going back to it, as I was mentioning before... Yeah, as I was mentioning before, this is why we set up the eye to... Yeah, this is why we set up the eye to have most of the top drop down to give it that blinking effect over just squishing it to close down, because it doesn't give as natural of an effect, as you can see. We have it closing like that, and it just squishes. That's okay. Welcome on in there, Chaya. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Let's give a shout out to Chaya. Let me set that up proper. Stream is back on. Stream is back on. It took me a minute, but we got it back. Let's give a shout out to Chaya. Also, ads starting 30 seconds. Oh, ad break just started. Let's give a shout out, or yeah, we're gonna set that up. And once the ads are done, that is when we're gonna give a shout out to Chaya. In the meantime, let's try to bring the chat box back. Okay, now it should be running. Okay, we got it back. We got it back. Finally, after 10,000 years, we got it back. And the ads should be done. Let's give a shout out to Chaya. Go check them out. They do a lot of arting. They play a good variety of games. And they're going to be getting a new Live2D model soon. So if you want to look forward to that, go check them out. Who might be rigging that Live2D model? I don't know. You're going to have to go find out. You're going to have to wait you're going to have to wait for the time when that Live2D model is... Yeah, you're going to have to wait for when they start to reveal that model. So look forward to that. Hey, Lampy, I am well. Just did another art stream. Nice, nice, nice. I hope that stream went well. I hope you had fun. So anyway, now that we got this set up, we're going to go to the preset deformer that we had. We're going to delete that one because we don't need it no more. Now that we got that eye blink, as you can see right there, we're actually going to go to... We're going to go back to that deformer. We're going to select that box. And we are going to go to set... We're going to go to 3 on that parameter tab. Actually, not even 3. We're going to go to 2 on that parameter tab. We're going to add another box there. And what we're going to do now is that we're going to take this entire half, the top 3 rows, we're going to flatten that one significantly. Like so. So now that rat either looks upset or they look irritated with you. We're also going to make a new deformer for this. We're going to call this one Eye Shine. Also, for those of you that are there, refresh the channel. We finally got everything set up, but yeah, it took a minute. I don't know why that happens from time to time, but basically OBS and maybe even the internet kind of just fumbles over itself. It starts to rumble and tumble down a hill or something like that. Eye Shine. And then we're going to put OK for that one. And we're going to set up all the parameter tabs for that. So one over here, one over here. And this is where we're actually going to drag that shape down. You know what? I got another idea for all of this. We're going to go back to the blinking. We're going to put it back on its default setting. And we're actually going to separate the eye blink from the eye shine. So when it squishes... Actually, hold on. We need to go back to eye shine and we need to delete all this stuff. So let's remove all those spots. So when it closes, the eye shine just gets dragged down instead. But first we need to set up all of these deform settings. There we go. We're just going to drag this one down here. And now we go to the actual eye layer itself. And we're going to go to our inspector tab. And we're going to go to our inspector tab up here on the left. And drag our cursor all the way down until we find clipping ID. Now that we found that, we're going to click on that little box right there. On the right side of the clipping ID box. Click on that until we find the regular eye. Click on that eye, and that's going to set up a clipping mask to where that eye shine, or, the little shine on the eye, will only be visible within the eye. It will not be visible anywhere outside of the eye layer. So whenever things move, boom. You know what? Let's go back to that eye shine. Let's cut that one, bring this back here. And maybe even drag it down a little bit more, so this is what it's going to look like. We can even shrink this down a bit while we're at it. Shrink it down a bit while we're here. And on the 0.2, we'll shrink that down just a little bit more. Just a bit. So there we go. Now let's see what the effect looks like. This is what the eye looks like as we, also let's move it over here to the right, or to the left. So this is what the eye looks like on its default setting. This is what it looks like when it's at the halfway point, when they're kind of just done with your nonsense. And this is what it's going to look like as the full blink. As we look from further away, here's the effect. Kind of sinister at that point, but then again, they're looking at you. They're supposed to be looking at you like, really? Really, no? You made that kind of joke? For real? That's how they're supposed to be looking at you. So, yeah. That's the attempt for the rant. Alright. I may put the drawing stream on hold, since I kind of overdid it with 2 art streams for the last night and today. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Sometimes you have to put certain projects on hold. I wouldn't know. I do nothing but drawing streams, so I don't know how it would feel too. I mean, to be fair, I've had 1 week where it was just nothing but video games, mostly because I needed to take a break from drawing. So yeah, sometimes you will get those moments where you just need to put some projects on hold. Stream is fully back. Refresh if you don't have it yet. What Spock said. If OBS crashes or Twitch bugs out, just blame Bob. He did say he could fix anything. True. I don't know Bob, though. I know Bob is the builder. I just don't know Bob directly, so... Bob's just gonna be looking at like, I don't know you, that's not my problem. Okay, reminder, if Lampy's stream is down for anyone in chat, they are missing the audio. Ah, fair. That's who I usually blame, Bob the Builder. You know what, that's fair. There you go, folks. If you don't know who to blame, blame Bob the Builder. They said he could fix it. If it's an unfixable problem, then Bob was lying to you. Alright, so now that we got the eye set up, now it is time for my favorite part of model making. It's time to work on the mouth rigging. Hooray! Love rigging mouths. Now, in case you're wondering, why is the mouth rigging such a Such a painful one for you there. I'm gonna show you why. So, let's go back over here. And I mentioned this before, that I've shown you two different ways of setting up a deformer. I've shown you the green box. Actually, let's zoom out right quick. I've shown you the green box multiple times. And I've shown you the rare occasion of the red circle. That allows you to, rotate the whole thing without losing its shape when you do the rotations. However, there is a third type of deform setting. There's a third type of deformation. I'm going to show you what that is right now. We're going to go back to the top of the tab. Hi, Lampy. How are you? Yo, Dino Seeker. So far I'm doing okay. However, the internet just kind of, shot itself in the foot. So, we had a couple of technical difficulties, but we're back on track again. And the frames aren't dropping, so we're on a good spot. We're in a really good spot. But yeah, outside of that, we're working on mouth rigging. Fun fact, this is the second model that I'm currently working on mouth rigging now. Mouth rigging is fun. Luckily, this one is an easier project to work with when it comes to mouth rigging, in comparison to a more humanoid approach. I haven't gotten too much work into this one here in particular, but we're getting there. Hold on a minute, let me find it. I've gotten the smile for this one, but that one's gonna be a while. Because now I need to make the mouth open parameters and then set up all those. That's gonna be a difficult one. However, for this, it's gonna be a little easier. Just a little bit. Because we're only gonna need to make 3 and 2. 2 deformer, or yeah, like 2 dots for... Where is it? 2 dots for the mouth, or yeah, for the mouth open. Where is mouth? Here, mouth. There we go. Only 2 dots for mouth open and 3 dots for mouth form. However, that does not change the fact that that's still going to be a tricky one. Oh, let me see. For a fitting joke, I'd say 1, but it would be unpunny. You know what? If there's no pun in it, I would take that joke. Also, let me see. Also, Lampy, did you know toasters were the first form of... And I'm gonna stop. Because I see the joke. Or I see the pun. No, second. First was... dogs flushing birds out of brush. Or out of, out of brush. First was dogs flushing birds out of brush. I don't get it. Alright, let me see. I see. That's good to hear at least. Yeah. We're, slowly getting back into the swing of things. We're getting there little by little. Details and layers all make rigging complicated. Very true. That's a lot. That is a lot. So, here's the next move. Here's the next step. Like I said. So, what we're going to need to do is go to the upper lip. So, there was 2 ideas I had for this, but I'm actually going to opt out on something. I'm going to explain that one real soon. So, here's the first part. If you wanted to set up your Live2D for the mouth rig, you're going to want to go to the line. You're going to want to go to that mouth line right there. And now I'm going to show, as mentioned before, I'm going to show you the third form of deform settings. Because like I said, there's the green box, there's the red circle, and now if we go to the top and we go to this one circle that has a curved line across it, this one's gonna allow me to show you the third one. It's called the deform path. Why is it called the deform path? Because it is a deform setting that is set up specifically in a path, in a line, like you could see right here. Hold up. And we kind of need to shape this around to make sure that it fits the line just right. Sometimes easier said than done. But when it needs to be done, it needs to be done. And this is one of those occasions where it needs to be done. And there we go. We just need to add enough dots to make sure that that little shape lines up with everything. Now that we got that one set up. Now we need to go to the other mouth setting. So, bottom line, which you cannot see, but since we could see the mesh, we know exactly where we need to put everything. And we just put about, I want to say, you know what? We might need to put at least 2 more dots across. So 1 more there. And 1 more there. So when we're working on these deform paths, we want 1 dead in the middle. 2 more on each side. Like a halfway point. A halfway point from the halfway point. So I guess a quarter point. And then we got the end points. And then just 1 more for the corner points. Instead of them being ends, those are like corners. Those will allow us to, you know, reshape those corners how we see fit. Also, welcome on in there, Lucky. Hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Not enough dots? I say 50 more. And I say, you could go... You know what? I'm not going to say it. I had to? No, you didn't. Actual history of pop-up notifications. The bird popping out of the brush notified a flock of... gotcha. No pun, but a real notification. Gotcha. Okay, you know what? Fair. Who's lucky? That's a good point. Your inverse. Yes. Your counterpart. Either the good one or the evil one. I don't know. You know what? You figure that out. All right, next step. So now that we got our deform paths, we go back to our mouse cursor. And now we need to start setting up the mouth forms. So let's go to mouth form on our parameter setting. And we're going to select the mouth, we're going to select the mouth lines and the upper lip and lower lip, which the upper lip and lower lip are invisible because we put their settings to... You know what? Maybe we should explain the upper lip and lower lip. Let's go back over here. Let's put them back to 100%. So you could actually see these parts. So I mentioned it before I mentioned it before on one of the previous streams, but since I kind of deleted that video because, I don't know, I wasn't satisfied with that stream. So I decided to get rid of it. Too much stress, and it was kind of short. So we're going to explain it here one more time. So, what is up with these blue blotches? These are our upper lip and lower lip. And they're going to allow us to basically hide everything beneath it. Everything underneath those parts. Which is the mouth, the tongue, the teeth. Those are all going to be hidden behind these 2 blue blotches. We also need to go back to those 3 parts because I want to show something. We're going to remove our parameter settings on those. Or not the settings, but I'll explain later. We're going to remove the clipping masks from those. Because, let's say we take our blue blotches and we put the opacity to 0 as I mentioned before. Because I'm going to show you why we put it to 0. Because we don't want them to be visible. We don't want them to be, we want it to make sure that you don't see these blue blotches. So, we're going to our inspector tab, we're going to the opacity, and we're dropping all of that all the way to 0. However, now you see the inside of the mouth. You see, you know, the mouth, the tongue, the teeth. We don't want you to see that until the mouth opens. So how do we fix that problem? How do we get everything set up the way that it's supposed to be? I'm going to show you how. How do we set it up to where all of the, like all these inside parts are hidden while the mouth is closed? Here's how we do it. We take the upper lip, or actually no, we take all three parts, all of the inside parts. We go to our clipping mask ID on the inspector tab. Let me try that again. We take our three parts, we go to the inspector tab, we scroll all the way down till we find clipping ID. Click on that, and we're going to look for the upper lip and the lower lip. And as you can see, they're still visible. For some reason, they're still visible. Now you might be wondering, why is that? Because we set it up as a clipping mask, and the clipping mask means that everything is only visible when they are beneath those layers, which means they're only visible while they are within the upper lip and the lower lip layers. If we move them outside of all of that, as you can tell, they disappear because they are no longer within the upper and lower lip. But Lampy, you might be saying, I thought we were supposed to have it to where they're only visible when they're outside of the upper lip and the lower lip. If they're only visible while they're in the upper and lower lip, then what's the point of them? And you would be right. So how do we fix that? We reverse it. We make it to where it's only visible when the lip and lower lip are not there. We invert that. And how do we do that? Well, if you look at that inspector tab one more time, and you go all the way to the clipping ID, you'll notice that there's something that says invert mask. And a little box right there. If we click on invert mask, then they all become invisible. Why is that? Because now, as I mentioned before, they are only visible when they are outside of that clipping mask. When they are outside of that layer, then they will be visible. Perfect example, we're going to take the bottom lip and the bottom line, and we're going to drag this down. Now you can see that the mouth is visible only when this layer is not there. When the layer is not there or it's moved out of the way, the mouth is now, the inside of the mouth is now visible. And that's exactly how we're going to set this up. And this is also how you can make your mouth rigging while, how do I put it? This is how you can make a mouth rig have an upper and lower lip while still having certain details, like let's say the model that you have has a pattern or freckles or spots on their face, or, you know, they're a, what's the word I'm looking for? They have like a duality type of, they have a two-face pattern style going on, where one side has one blemishes. There we go, that's another example. You got that sort of thing. This way, instead of having you match up the lip with all of those shapes to make it just perfect, do this. Reverse clipping mask. We'll solve that problem like that. And there you go. I hope that helps. Always remember, folks, reverse clipping mask when it comes to the upper and lower lip. This way, you don't even have to put detail on those lips. Just make it a shape, make it a color, make it a pattern. You can make it whatever you want. It won't matter. Not supposed to rhyme, but I'll take it. And just put that to 0% opacity. And then put the reverse clipping mask and you're done. Or inverted clipping mask and you're done. Anyway, let's try to catch up some things. Oh, you mean Metal Unlucky? That dude made... Oh, that dude made out of metal. Yeah, there you go. That one. So, layer, what moves via audio or something? Wait. Which layer moves via audio? Technically, you can have some of them move via audio, but for the most part, it usually just moves based off of your mouth movement. Unless you go into specific settings in VTube Studio to change that. For example, the bird over there. You see the bird up there? Right, my hand's in the way. You see the bird up there? That one has mouth rigging. However, I set it up specifically in Live2D to where it doesn't follow my mouth tracking. In fact, instead, it follows a program's mouth tracking. Give me a sentence and I'll show you what I mean. You know what? This works. Look at the bird's face. Look at the bird's face for a second. 3, 2, 1.
Bird up.
There you go. Thank you for the save there, Sasquatch. And welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Will the upper lip get a pull 2 for snarls? As a matter of fact, yes. We're actually going to be setting up 2 different things. Well, actually, I didn't set up the idea for a snarl, but here's the idea that I had set up for this. We're going to go back to mouth form. We're going to go to the upper lip. We're going to put the 3 green dots. We're going to move it to the right, or we're going to move it to the left. And this is going to give us the opportunity to make this mouth frown. So we're going to take these points, pull them. This is also why we added that corner, because I want the frown. This is how we're going to set up the frown. We're going to pull these points until we got at least a straight line. Pull this part down. We're going to kind of make a triangle of this, make it a much more narrow triangle than before. Also, unlike normally, I'm not having the what's the word I'm looking for? Get tired, Lampy? You know what? That's fair. Let me switch out the Live2D for a second. Dead tired Lampy, where is he? Where is he? Where's Dead tired Lampy? There we go. Thank you for Dead tired. Looks so disappointed while saying bird up. Oh yeah, that's because of the tired toggle. I put the tired toggle because I don't want to do live or mouth rigging. But since I put the tired toggle for both models, yeah. If Lampy looks tired, the bird looks tired. So yeah, I was gonna say there's no changing that, but I could. But I don't feel like giving them different toggle buttons. It's too complicated. I tried before. It became too complicated. Thank you for the necro. Also, I apologize, but since it's so quiet, the only thing it does is like... What's that sound? Oh, right, necro. That's basically the only reaction you get from that. Count your lucky stars. It wasn't the reaction from before, from way, way back in the day, though. I was trying to figure out where the heck that sound came from. Oh, yeah. See, again, that's what I mean. Like, okay, I take it back then. Wait, when you say you were trying to figure out where that sound came from, were you talking about, like, what game it was from, or what on earth was that sound? Okay, so we got the frown for the rat. That's the frowny face. I think we could do a little better than this, though. Let's try adjusting this a little more. Let's actually take this point, pull it down a little bit. Take that point, pull that, pull that. Take this corner, pull that one down a little more. Take that point. Just gonna keep taking points until we get everything. Yo, Shadov, thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Let's give a shout out to Shadov. If you haven't checked them out, go do so. They play a good variety of games. They also do some Martins, all that crazy stuff. And everybody stopping by from Shadov's stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. Yes, the bug is the streamer. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some Live2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams we are currently making rat. I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy your stay. And if you gotta take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about raiding or running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. Let's see. I thought it had come from the game for a sec because it was corresponding with some gas mines going off. Oh, yeah, that would have been funny. See, this is what I meant. Like, sometimes it catches some people off guard. Like, what on earth was that? Like, hold on a minute. Thank you for the shout out. Yeah, no problem. Thank you again for the raid. I greatly. Hold on a minute. Apologies there, folks. I kind of lost my voice for a second there. Just need to clear my throat, get some water, and figure things out from there. Thank you for the crab rave there, Timmy. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Okay, so this should be good for the mouth, I believe. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, right there should be good. There we go. We got the frowny face for the rat. Let's go back to the upper lip. And now let's put the smiley face. So let's do the opposite. We're going to make that look like a really, really big smile. So big, wide smile. We move the dots, or yeah, we move the mouth form all the way to the right. So we can put really, really big smiley face. Really big rat smile. Because this is a very, very happy rat. They just found the cheese. And can't nobody take that cheese from them. Very, very happy rat. There we go. Very happy rat. Can't nobody change their mind. So, regular rat face. Sad rat face. Very happy rat face. This is what we got going on. Looks like you found my bug deterrent. Yeah. It's a bug deterrent. Anyway. So, there we go. We got ourselves our, rat design. I smell cheese. So does the rat. Crazy? I was crazy once. Me too. I'm still crazy. I saw you streaming and was like, you know what? Let's go actually raid Lampy for once. This time it's an actual raid instead of just the mock raids from before. I thank you for not doing a mock raid, because like I said, the most of the time whenever I see it, I'm like, did you actually stream today? I don't even know anymore. Alright, so now that we got that set up, we got that. So now let's go to mouth, now we go back to mouth form, we select all these parts, all these points, and now what we need to do, we're actually going to put the, not that, put those 3 dots, as now, for the tricky part, we need to take, actually, let's select the tongue and the mouth for this one as well. We leave the teeth alone. And we go to mouth, actually, yeah, we go back over here, 3 dots over on mouth form. Now we go to mouth open, and we only put 2 dots. So, next step. Let's add the mouth open parts. So, whoops. What we need to do, nice try there, Unlucky. Also, I'm gonna have to start timing people out. The next time people start, doing these raid things, because I'm gonna let you know, folks, you may think it's funny, but one of these days I'm not gonna believe that you actually raided, and when you actually do, I'm going to just skip it over. So let's not do the mock raids, because it's actually not as funny as you think. It's actually very difficult to keep up with. And makes me second guess everything. And the last thing I want to do is second guess a raid. Because there's going to be a time where someone actually legitimately raids, I'm going to look at it and think, nice try there, friend, but keep on moving. And then I look like the bad guy. Because I didn't believe you when you cried wolf. But but there are also going to be people that are watching that won't know that you cried wolf multiple times. And all they'll see is, oh, Lampy doesn't respect these, Lampy doesn't respect raids at a certain number. That's because I don't know if it actually was a raid or not, because people have been doing mock raids. I don't want that. You don't want that. So let's not do that. Shall we? Let's not do that. Let's not make mock raids, because then it turns out bad for everybody. Alright. I do a solo raid more to help trigger bingo options on other streamers. What do you mean by bingo options? Fair enough. Thank you for your understanding. I greatly appreciate that they're on look. Alright, let me see. So, as I was mentioning before, so we got the line, we got the upper lip, bottom line, bottom lip, the mouth, and the inside. We go to our mouth, or yeah, now that we have all three of those selected, we go to our mouth open, put the 2 dots instead of 3, we move it all the way over to the right, and now let's select our bottom line and bottom lip, pull this down a bit, and hold it right there. Actually, you know what? Let's bring this a little bit further out. Let's have it stop here. And then we take these corners, pull them up. We'll actually have the mouth line stop right here. Take the middle points, pull them down a little bit more, because I kind of want a circular shape going on here. I kind of want a circular shape. Right here should be good. That should be solid. And then we're going to go select the outside of the mouth, or the top mouth. How do I put it? We're going to select the upper line art of the mouth. Pull those out to the side. Move them like so. Actually, even pull these points out a little bit more, just in case. Something like that should be good. Take that corner, pull that. Right here should be solid enough. And then we're going to take the upper lip. And there was a reason why I didn't link the upper lip with the lip line, or the mouth line, is because that would have made things a whole lot more tricky to work with when it comes to... It would have actually made things a little bit trickier to work with when it comes to the Live2D Rigging. Because if we linked up, let me put it to you this way. If we linked up the upper lip with the lip line, and we did some sort of shape like this one, actually, I think I could show you what I mean. Well, actually, not anymore. But basically, let's use this one as an example. As you can see, that line used to be a straight line. And when it curves downwards, these shapes would have probably have warped in a way that messed up the lip line itself. And that would have made things a whole lot more difficult to work with. So instead of going through all of that, we're just going to manually rig the mouth lip, or the lip line, on its own. There we go. They do stream bingo and have raid as something to mark on the card. Oh, fair. I guess that's maybe understandable, I suppose. I mean, if it's on the bingo card, well, maybe. Hard to say. Yeah, sorry, I don't mind, but yeah, I didn't think about how others who don't know the joke behind it. Because one night, Lampy had a raid like every 5 minutes. Very, very true. Very true. And it was funny that time, but as the joke persists, then it becomes a problem and also loses its luster. So there's 2 situations on that one there. Like I said, it makes things more difficult. It makes things more difficult over time. Nobody wants that. All right, let's see. Let's get this. Let's get this brush. What we're gonna need to do is Let's take these corners. Whoops, wrong one. This brush. We need to pull those corners up, like so. To a certain point at least. Let's take these corners, pull them up some more. That should be okay. And take this point. There we go. That should be all right. And let me see. So, top lip. Get our cursor here. Move that a little bit more. And this should be good. Inky, binky, bonky. The lip line is looking wonky. Yeah. Essentially, we don't want that lip line to look wonky. So, this is why instead of having the lip line and the upper lip merged together when moving around, I've personally kind of found it easier to just have them as separate things and just move them around accordingly. For example, let's go back to this upper lip over here. Get our brush. Just pull those points up. Pull those meshes upwards. Take the corners of those outer meshes. Pull them down. Like so. And that should be okay. Let's take that corner. Pull that one out a little bit more. And this should be alright. Whoops. Maybe a little too far. Let's pull this part back a little bit. Right here should be okay. And go to this angle. Take those points. Maybe pull this up a little bit more. Leave it right there should be okay. Now for the bottom lip, time to fix all of that up. Make this brush a lot larger. Take those points, pull them around. Move them around as best as we possibly can. And that should be alright. Now for the other side. Okay, we already got that one fixed up, so that should be okay. Yeah, we could probably fix up these angles just a little bit more if need be necessary. And yeah, so that's one point done. Maybe take this part, pull that up a little bit higher. Just to be safe. Just to be overly cautious. Alright, so now that we got that point, that is the first part of the mouth rig. Well, technically the second part. Did you just sing the Hokey Pokey? I might have. I honestly don't know what I sang. I was just moving dots around. I don't remember saying turn. I might have said turn. Okay, so that should be good. Now let's close the mouth. There we go. So that is the mouth rig. Let's also deselect everything there. Let's hide the mesh. Let's hide the deformer. Now let's see what it looks like. Almost. Almost there. We still need to fix up a few parts. And actually, you know what? Let's see what we can do to fix that point. We're actually going to make a dot right about here. So let's go back to the top line, the bottom line, the top lip. Yeah, let's just take these lip lines, make another dot right in the center. So 3 dots instead. Go to this point. Actually, no, I take it back, not that point. Let's remove this dot. It's actually around the 6 instead of a 5. That point is where we need to go back to the upper lip. Get that mesh back. Get our brush. And move this a little bit further down. Further down on one side, further down on the other side. And that should be good. Now let's see the end result again. Much better, much smoother. Almost. We still got one more part that needs to get fixed up. Just a little bit. So let's adjust said thing. Back to the upper lip. What we're going to do is take at this point, move them over until we got everything according to plan. And that should be good right there. I want to say it should be good right there. Let's go back to the other side, make sure. Take that point, pull this down. And there we go. Now let's see the end result. All right, let's try that one more time now. Let's remove the meshes so we can actually see everything. We almost have it. We're still missing a few points. Also, welcome on in there, Zelda. Welcome on in there, Dice. Hope you're having a good day. Hope things are good. Hope things are well. I wish Dead Tired had a good way to aim the gun to put another emphasis on dead. I could, but Twitch would immediately ban me for the idea that came to mind. So no, we can't do that one. All right, let me see. Okay, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to go to this mouth line because I think I know what we need to set up for this. Let's go back to the mouth line. Let's put the deformers for that. Let's take this corner, pull that one all the way over here. Take that corner. No, not rotate. I want that corner. Pull that one in. Yeah, just take these corners and pull them in. And let's see how that end result looks. Let's hide these two parts again. One more time. Hey, you know what? Close enough. And not quite. Not quite. There's still one other thing that I'm looking at that needs to be fixed up. And that is going back to this part of the lip and pulling this part of the mouth out a little bit more. Now let's see the end result, because I want to see what does it look like from afar. That, I want to say that looks okay. I want to say that looks all right. That should be fine. At the end of the day, we could also still just select certain parts of the mouth, like maybe this corner, pull that out a little bit more. Pull this part a little bit back. Pull this part out a little bit more. Pull this corner. Leave it right there. Move that part inwards a little bit more. Now let's see the end result one more time. Definitely not quite what we're looking for. Because it's definitely at this point that we need to add another dot. Let's pull this part back inwards. Pull that part back inwards. That should be okay. Now let's see what it all looks like. There we go. It may have taken about a grand total of 1, 2, 3, and 4 dots But we got what we were looking for here. We got what we needed. It might look better, less zoomed out. It might. But we still want to make sure that it looks good. Because there's going to be an occasion, and I know there's going to be an occasion, where someone zooms in, looks you dead in the eyes, and when they start talking, the one thing they're gonna the viewers might notice is that, well, it's kind of messed up. I don't want people to focus on that. I want them to focus on whatever it is that the streamer is saying when they use the rat model. Like whatever they're saying, like, all right, listen here, you, blah 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 blah, this and that, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. Last thing I want for them to do while the streamer is going yada yada yada, this and that, is look at the mouth and say, I'm gonna lie, that's a pretty bad job. So this is why we gotta look at it up close as well. We gotta look at it from far away as well as up close. We gotta make sure all the details are there. This is also why I hate rigging mouths, because that was just the first part. That was just the default. Now we gotta add the smile, and we gotta add the frown, and this is the simple version. Imagine a Live2D commission where you have to make... Let me show you what I mean, actually. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. We're actually going to get the bird model for a perfect example of this. We're actually going to show the bird model's mouth rigging, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, I think Necro or Dead Tired Lampy's been there for 25 minutes. We could switch back out. Thank you for the Hydrate Destroyer. And the stretch. And I'm assuming the posture check. And I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great morning, and all of that good stuff. You take care now there, friend. But yeah, we're going to put the YouTube Studio back. We're going to get rid of Dead Tired Lampy. All of that crazy insanity. We're also going to put this back to normal. So the reason why I brought the bird back up is because this is one of those models where I already did the mouth rigging, and I wanted to show that one in particular because where did I put it? All right, here we are. We got mouth form, and we got we got the mouth form, and we got the mouth open. And the reason why I showed all of that is because if you thought what we were working on for the rat was already tricky enough, if you thought rat model, that's a lot of work for a rat model, let me show you the mouth form and the mouth open for the bird, because not only did we have to make the mouth open for bird, we had to make the smile, we had to make the frown, we also had to make some other ones for A, E, I, O, U, and, you know, just basically set up all the mouth rigs for, you know, the whole function of tracking someone's face. And when you're trying to work on a humanoid model and it's a lot, or yeah, a humanoid model, that means it's going to be a lot more work. It's going to be a lot more, it's going to be a lot trickier. Especially if it's, if you're trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Especially if you're trying to go with a high-end rig. Which, I would say, this one's kind of medium. Mostly because there's other features that a high-end rig would have that I just did not have the patience for. So yeah, there you go. If that makes any sense. So this is why mouth rigging, it's a very important feature. It is practically the bread and butter for most models, mostly because, you know, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. A lot of streamers do the talking, they do the yapping, they do the chatting, they do the yammering. So, of course, the mouth has to work just right. Because of that, it's a pain. It's also the reason why Lampy doesn't have a mouth. Because God, no. I already do enough mouth rigging as it is. I don't want Lampy to have something where I have to rig the mouth. So, we got the mouth rig for the... Yeah, we got the major... we got the standard mouth rig done. Now it's time for the smile. So let's bring it all the way back over here. Let's go back to these settings. Click on that. Get the mouth, or get the bottom mouth and the bottom lip. Drag those ones even further down than before. Way, way down. We're going to take these points. Going to pull them all the way up. Right all the way to here. Pull these points a little bit further out. There we go. Just keep moving these points until we get the exact right spot. Pull that point out a little bit more. Make this a little bit rounder. I'm not sure why this isn't moving the way it's supposed to, but when that case happens, just take the brush tool and move it accordingly. If it's not going to move on its own, make it move. Make that stinking thing move. There we go. Fun fact, many moths have not have mouths. Continuing. Oh yeah, true. I remember that some moths no longer have mouths because they don't need that function anymore. This is also why I tell people that if a moth is in your sweaters and they make holes, it wasn't the moth that made the hole. Well, the moth technically made the hole, but it wasn't the moth directly that made the holes in your sweaters. Because there is a huge misconception of moths eating your clothes. The moths don't eat your clothes. They lay eggs in your clothes. And the larvae that came out of said eggs, those eat your clothes. Because the larvae eat your clothes so they can produce silk that they use to make their cocoon. So, I said it before, I said it again. Or yeah, I said it before, I'll say it again, and I will continue to say this one until the cows come home. Moths don't eat your clothes. They do much worse. They drop their litter and they leave. You don't want that. That's right, folks. It gets much, much worse. Impregnated clothing is disturbing to think about. Indeed. So if you see a moth flying towards your sweater, you better stop it. You better stop that moth from getting to your clothes before it's too late. You do not want that to happen. So it's the babies. Yes, it is indeed the babies. This ain't no foster care center. The moths don't care. That's why you have to stop them at all cost. I shouldn't be telling you this, but I am. So, yeah, you want to stop them bugs at all costs. You do not want them dropping their litter in your favorite hoodie. Because now your favorite hoodie has a hole because moths got to them. Well, moth babies got to them. The more you know. Worse than maternity clothing. See, that's the funny part. It's now maternity. Like, you thought that was your hoodie? The moth, yeah, you think that's a hoodie. You think that's your blanket. The moth sees that as maternity clothing. Why? Because, they drop their children into your clothes. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the rigging at hand. So what we're going to want to do is go back to the upper lip. Get our brush. Increase the size of said brush significantly. We're going to take this entire upper half and just pull that part up. Take this point, pull that part up. Pull this part up. Too much. Go to the outer layer, pull that part up until a certain point. Bring the brush, or yeah, shrink down the brush significantly. Pull those corners, pull those sides. And that spot should be okay now. That should be all right. And right here should be good. Oh yeah, I'm also thinking like, okay, so I need to figure out what on earth I'm going to do for Friday. I'm thinking about trying to finish off the cam art drawing on Friday. And then Sunday, I work on, not even work on, now that I think about it. On Sunday is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Community stream. So folks, if you ever wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh! If you ever wanted to play against Lampy in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! This Sunday is going to be your opportunity. So look forward to that, because I got 2 more community days to go. We got the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community Day and Fortnite. And in case some of you were thinking, ew, Fortnite, I made sure that I gave that as an option. Folks, landed on the goal. And so, yeah, Fortnite. That night here, it's not a bad game. My brother's been telling me, like, I don't know why you're, like, my brother actually told me about that one. So, also, ad start in a minute. My brother was actually telling me about Fortnite, like, showing me the Star Wars stuff, and was just looking at me saying, see, I don't know why you're not into this game right now. Like, I don't know why you're not playing this right now. Look at it. Like, you got TIE fighters and everything. Like, if there's any reason for you to play this game, here it is. And I'm like, because I'm working. And I'm kind of stuck low-lifing Elden Ring, too. So, there's also that. It's mostly Elden Ring. Actually, no, I take it back. It's mostly work, because I don't play too many games. But when I get the opportunity, it's either going to be Elden Ring, or it's going to be Risk of Rain. Or, in the rare case recently, it's going to be whatchamacallit. What's that one game? Popped up. Or, yeah, I was talking about that one earlier. Normally, it was either Risk of Rain or Elden Ring, but recently, Crime Boss. Yeah, Crime Boss has also been a game that I've been playing a lot, so yeah, there's that. There was no intent of playing Crime Boss at first, but friends popped up and said, so, we heisting or what? I'm like, you know what? Sounds like the perfect time for a heist. And so there we go. Heist hours. Now, which part is this, and why is it not working right? There is a part around here that is a little messed up. Oh, it's this point. Okay, I found the part that was messed up. I was wondering, like, why is this not working properly? One of these lines is overlapping with the other, and I don't like that. I need to figure out why these lines are overlapping. Now I found out where the problem was. And now I can fix that. I can find the solution. And there we go. That should be all right. Now to get the brush, make that brush a bit smaller so I can take these certain points and do this all over again. Now let's start pulling points until I cannot think of more points to pull. Take that point and this point and move that point down, move that point up. Or maybe pull this point a little bit further. Take that point, move it all the way over there. Take that point, move it all the way over there. And then that one there and this one here. And take all of these ones and pull them up and rotate them just a bit. Because that's how life works. Sometimes you just gotta rotate. I think that's an analogy. Yeah? Yeah, that's an analogy of some kind. Someone will understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, that's okay. I don't get what I'm saying either. Take that point. Pull this part all the way out. And that should be okay. You know what? Let's take these points as well. Pull them up a bit. Take those points, pull them up a bit. Take that part and that part. And we should be good there. That should be all set. Now, let me see. So that was that part. That part's good. That part's good. The next set that we need to work on is taking the tongue and the mouth and hitting our deformer setting. Actually, yeah, so we need to get these points. And we need to make this a new deformer. We're going to call this one mouth. Inside. But okay. Now that we got that deformer, we need to set them both up for these points. And now I need to figure out why these aren't... why that deformer is not being selected. Okay, what we're going to do is this. We're going to save. We're going to close this. We're going to make the new layer. We're going to close that. We're going to go to rat. We're going to figure this out. All right, let's see. Rigging question. Oh, right. I missed this one a while back. Oh, I missed a lot a while back. Okay, motherly clothing. Gotcha. Rigging question. What does puppeteering the model mean? Keep seeing videos about it. Alright, so puppeteering the model. It's basically... how do I put this? Let me see if I could explain puppeteering the model. So... essentially... the model works... okay, so after you get everything rigged... maybe I could show it here somehow. Let's go to... what about in tutorial? There we go. So, we're also going to need to go to VTube Studio on this side. Move it over. Okay. Unlock that one. Move it over to the other side. So I can show what puppeteering means. So, basically, when you're using the puppeteering, as you can see, that very, very cursed face at the top middle screen, that is following a camera. And by following that camera, it... okay, I'm going to need to have another model pop up just to explain this one. So let me find something here. Let me find something here as a matter of fact. Let's get another model on the screen to show what I'm talking about. One that actually has mouth rigging. Oh, I know what I could do. Let's get the cat. We're going to get the cat back for this. Cat. And we're going to put the cat on the screen. We're going to drag that one down a bit. Yeah, you know what? This is still fine. So, let's get the tracking back, or the tracking camera thingy back there. So, as you can see, when it's basically... this is what it means by puppeteering. It's following the tracking of your face, and that tracking allows the model to follow your every movement. So whenever they're talking about puppeteering, they might be talking about, you know, the models, you know, following your movement. So therefore, you yourself are puppeteering said model, like you see right here. It could also possibly be a new feature that's going on. How long ago did you hear this one, by the way, Ryu? I don't know how long ago you heard this one. So it's going to be a little difficult to say if I might be correct on this one, or if I'm a little out of the loop. Because there's been a lot of new features in Live2D that I have not gotten to because I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was necessary to get to those ones. Most of them were usually just setting up Live2D templates for models, which I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it overcomplicates things instead of just starting from scratch. I mean, if you're starting out, then it might help you out a lot. But yeah, there was a lot of features where I just thought, I don't know, maybe, maybe not. It was on the off, or the on and off thing as heard it back, but it resurfaced again. Okay, so how long ago did you hear it before? 2013, or yeah, 2023, 22, 25. Okay, obviously 25. But yeah, 22, 23, 24, 21. So yeah, there you go. That's mouse tracking. Is that a tail? No. I'm getting too distracted. All right, back you go, cat. It's time to go back to the drawing screen. It's time to throw away giant cat. Goodbye, giant cat. I said goodbye, giant cat. There we go. I want to say 2023. Been a while. Okay, so for that one, I want to say it might have either been a new feature. I'm going to have to look into Live2D puppeteering. Let me see. Maybe it was a new feature. Let me find out. Live2D puppeteering. Puppet animation. Okay, so I'm looking through things at the moment, and based off of what I'm looking at right now, I want to say based off what I'm looking at the moment, I want to say that it's just an old terminology that they had way whiles back that just essentially meant the tracking and stuff. Like, you know, again, the tracking being a lot like, you know, puppeteering a model. Because, again, the avatar, or yeah, you know, the model avatars that you have, they're basically digital puppets. It's a puppet show. That's the best way to put it, is just, you know, it's a puppet show. Check it out. Goodbye, puppet. Now, why can't I move? Oh, there we go. It's basically a puppet show, you know? So I'm assuming that's what it means. You know, it's just a very technical way of just saying, you know, just a Live2D model. VTube model. That sort of thing. Tracking movements. Possibly. Again, like I said, I'm not 100% certain if that is the case. I need to look into it a lot more to find out if that's just like one of those super nerdy terminologies, or if it's just, you know, a new feature that I don't know about. Especially since it was 20... Actually, now that I think about it, 2023? I think 5.0 came out at that time, and there was some features, but not a lot of people really use those features. So I'm assuming that the puppeteering is, you know, just nerd speak for tracking. Tracking and following your movements. I'll look more into it later. But that's my assumption. That's my guess. Sometimes you just gotta try to make sense of Moth's ramblings. Essentially. Let's see. Sunday is karaoke. No. I know several people that play it and enjoy it. Fortnite? Yeah. I play too many work games. Me too. Need to. Alright, let me see. Let's get back to the rigging at hand. Where did I put that sucker? There it is. Let's also save, because I forgot the last time I saved. And let's see. We got that, we got that, we got angle Z. Let's go back to the mouth tracking. Because we got the happy, we got that mouth open. And now we need to go back and find certain points. That point in particular. And we need to take this entire... Actually, hold on a second. You actually need to take that point and that point to pull them inwards. That should be better. Maybe a little bit. Oh, actually, before I go, I forgot one more thing that did come to mind when it came to, okay, not Live2D, but one thing came to mind recently about Yu-Gi-Oh! And apparently there's a new update on the older formats. And I will say this, I'll say this one thing. And not a lot of people will agree with me on this one, but I'll say this. When they said that they're updating the cards to be played as their current iteration rather than their iteration from a long times past, I'm gonna say this, and nobody's gonna be happy with me on this one. For those that play Yu-Gi-Oh! May not be happy with me on this, what's it called? Point of view, but I'm okay with it. Because a lot of the cards that have been, you know, that people are complaining about, like, now this card is considered errata even back in the older formats. I'm looking at that like, do we all remember when we used to complain about those cards back in the day? I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Bryonic? I remember a lot of people getting mad about Bryonic. Absolute Zero? That card was dumb. Like, there was no way to get around it. Future Fusion? Okay, I was kind of a little miffed about Future Fusion. But yeah, a lot of the other cards that they said, like, they're ruining the older formats. Like, I last remember those cards ruined the older formats. That's why they were banned. So for the Time Wizard formats recently to say, yeah, you kind of have to play with the more recent versions, I'm sitting here thinking, wait, why are we mad about this? Last I remember, we hated these cards back in the day. Why are we looking at this and saying this is a travesty? Like, I feel like, you know, good riddance. Most importantly, people are mad about priority. For those of you that don't know, priority was a very, very... It was a weird rule. I was never a fan of priority, so when I heard, like, yeah, people are mad that, you know, priority is no longer a thing in the older formats of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, good. Good. I thought it was dumb then. I think it's dumb now. For those of you that did like priority in Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day, you know what? That's fair. I'm not going to fault you for that, nor am I going to criticize you. But I will say, I very much hated it. So when I hear back, when I hear, like, yeah, if we're making these other formats, we're getting rid of priority and timing, especially timing. I hated timing rules. I hated priority rules. So when I heard that those ones are gone, I'm like, thank God. I don't know why we thought we were still doing that for the older formats. Like, let's not. Can we not do that for the older formats? Can we just put that away? Like, but it was integral for the older games. I don't care. Timing sucked then, it sucks now, and I'm glad that we don't have that for the other formats. Or I'm glad we don't have that for current formats, even if it is the Time Wizard rules. Nuts to priority. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion on it. Like I said, if anyone else has a personal opinion on it, that is fair. I will respect your opinion on it. But I will also voice mine and say, priority sucked. All right, let me see. Thanks for the explanation. Still not knowledgeable, so it helped a lot. That's fair, that's fair. And I'm glad to hear that the explanation helped you on that, because, yeah, I need to look into that more myself. I got so comfy that I fell asleep. That's how you know that was a good, or yeah, that's how you know that was a good time right there. If you were able to fall asleep while watching a stream, that means it's either a really good stream or it's a really boring stream. I'm putting my money on the latter. Yo, Manexus, thank you for the raid, or the 8 months, my bad. Thank you for the 8 months, I greatly appreciate it. And since you subscribed for yourself, you have the opportunity. I'm gonna regret this, and I know because it's Manexus, I'm gonna regret this, but yeah, you have the opportunity to put a message in the chat, and whatever message it is, I will add that to the text-to-speech for the bird to say. And welcome on in there, Umbra. Priority? Okay, so for those of you that don't know how priority works in Yu-Gi-Oh!, there was a time in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game where there was this really weird rule that wasn't even in the manual, where they would say if your monster, certain monsters, if they hit the field, if they were automatically summoned, your opponent could chain, but it doesn't matter, their effect is still going off before the chain goes off. So, for example, there's a monster, elemental hero, no, not elemental hero, there was a monster called Rainbow Neos, where when the monster... Well, great, thank you there, Umbra. Also, thank you for the 6 months, I greatly appreciate it, no hot dog. But anyway, there was a priority rule that said, of course that would be the hashtag, wouldn't it? Why'd y'all start a hype train? Anyway, there would be a rule, and I'm going to use Rainbow Neos as an example. Rainbow Neos is a fusion monster where you can either do one of three things. Send a monster on the field back into your hand or back into the deck. Send all the monsters on your opponent's side back into the deck. Send a spell or trap on your side of the field back into the deck, and send all the spells and traps on your opponent's side back into their deck. Or you send a card from the top of your, you send a card from the top of your deck to the graveyard, and your opponent sends all of their cards in their graveyard back into the deck.
Notes at level 3. Also, hashtag Lampy hot dog.
No hot dog.
If Lampy won't do it, I will. Hashtag moth dog.
Well, I was gonna do so afterwards, I just got caught up with priority. So anyway, let's say you summon up that monster, and when you summon that monster, your opponent decides to activate a card that would send it away, remove it from play, destroy it, send it to the graveyard, something like that. Priority would mean that even though your opponent activated something like compulsory to send it back...
Hashtag moth dog.
There you go, you happy? So anyway, your opponent would have the ability... No, hold on a minute.
If only we had this kind of energy in the Risk of Rain 2 reset stream, ha ha ha.
No, we can stop now. Also, thank God we didn't have that energy in the Risk of Rain 2 stream, because if that were the case, I would never get past level 1. Y'all folks would keep me stuck at level 1 like y'all did in Bloodborne. That wasn't fair. That was torturous. Literally 9 hours of literally being stuck at the beginning of Bloodborne, fighting the same boss, killing the same boss for 9 hours straight. I'm never gonna forget that. That's what I'm looking at like, I'm so glad.
I would have brought this energy in Risk of Rain 2. Hashtag Risk of Moth hot dog.
Just gonna go back to my seat. I'm just gonna go sit back here. Anyway, going back to it, priority. As I was saying, priority. Right, I forgot puns. I have to read every pun now for the next 5 until the hype train is done. So, but first, I need to explain priority. So, we're gonna do this real quick. So, all the effects that I mentioned on that Neos monster, if they summoned that monster and you decided that you wanted to remove that monster before the effects go off, guess what? Your opponent still gets to choose to use the effect. That's what priority meant, and that was a dumb thing.
You also incorporated raids to reset your run? Ha
Yes,
ha.
yes, I did. That's why I did not incorporate the raids for this coming
It's
one.
okay. You know we do this with love.
I know you do, and I thank you for the bits. Save your money. So anyway, imagine a situation like that. That's why priority was dumb, because it let the players activate the card effect even though your opponent activated a trap or a quick play or something along those lines. Thank you for gifting Zelda a sub. Save your money. All right, let me catch up with things. Let me see. Did I miss any puns? Pun, no pun. Well, now I'm kind of stuck with it. Priority always sounds like license to cheat to me. It does, and it was. That's why when I heard that priority was gone, I was like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lordy, Lordy. And when I heard that Time Wizard rules were back and they said, oh yeah.
I'm famous for always spending my money.
Indeed. I thank you for the business, but save your money. But yeah, so whenever priority rules popped up in the Time Wizard format and they said, yeah, we're not going to do the priority rules no more, and people were getting mad at it, I'm looking at it like, why? Priority sucked. Like, I was not a fan of priority. I was not a fan of timing. Let me play my cards the way they were intended. Stop rule sharking my cards. Okay. Oh, there's new hype train emotes. That's what they meant. All right, let me try to catch up some things. Oh, I didn't miss any puns, so thank God. Whew. Gun. Thank you for redeeming gun. What on earth was I doing again?
Protect yourself.
Why do I gotta protect myself? What are y'all up to? What are y'all doing? I'm worried now. Okay, so we got very happy mouse. We got very happy mouse face. We got a standard mouse face. Wait, hold on a minute. We gotta fix this up a bit. Because that should not be happening. We gotta get to a halfway point. So like that and that and that. And yeah, so like these two parts. Put a dot right there. What was that? Yo, Kumo, thank you for, no wait. Ombra, thank you for gifting Kumo a sub. That's what it was. Save your money. What are you doing? That's why you got a gun. Or that's why you got gun. True, to protect myself.
Don't forget the dispute between if and when in a card text.
Yes, that too. That's what I mean about like the whole timing thing of if and when. When they got rid of that, I was like, thank God. That, again, that was that thing where I was like, we do not need this. Just let if and when be the same thing. I know I talked about it before where I mentioned how Yu-Gi-Oh! Helped with English and, yeah, English and phrasing and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm also thinking, y'all are making this overly complicated just so you have the win. Shut up. Let me play my freaking card. Like, well, actually, it says if and not when, therefore, no, just let me do my thing. Or, no, wait, it's the other way around. It was, well, actually, it says when and not if, so when that happens, but since it's not happening right now, it no longer counts as when, therefore, and that's why I'm just sitting there just thinking to myself, where to God if you don't let me play my monster effect? I'm gonna flip this table, I'm gonna flip you, and I'm gonna flip you the bird. All in that sequence. So close to level 3. Thank God y'all missed level 3. Save your money. Lucky for you, my punny jar is empty. Thank God, that means there was no puns for today. Thank you for the level 2, by the way. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Save your money, but thank you for the support. Gonna assume we're talking about jank ruling in Yu-Gi-Oh! Card text. Yes. Not only that, but I was talking about the dumb stuff about priority, timing, and how people are mad that that's gone in the Time Wizard rules. I'm just sitting here thinking, let it be gone. It gone. Yeah, I see those rules being gone in the current Time Wizard rule sets, and I'm like thinking, be gone, foul beast. I never want to deal with that again. Oh, and some of the some of the broken cards that people were mad about that they couldn't use in those formats. Don't get me wrong. If you like those broken cards, I don't blame you. If you were playing those cards, you had a lot of fun. If you were playing against those cards, you're glad they're gone. You could tell which camp I was in. I was in the camp of, I can't afford these really broken cards. And so, I have to deal with them. And then they eventually get banned, and I'm like, thank God, now I don't have to deal with that. Yeah, you don't have to deal with these ones, now you have to deal with these broken cards. Like, oh. Hooray. Well. However, I will still say this. There were some cards that when they got the errata, the nerf, I'm still mad they got nerfed. Crush Card Virus is one of them, even though I never had a Crush Card Virus card. Brain Control was definitely one of them. I think everybody had at least one Brain Control before it got nerfed, or before it got banned, that's the one. I think there was a time where everybody had a Brain Control, and because of that it got banned. And then it got nerfed. So badly that when they brought it back to 1, nobody cared. They brought it back to 3, we still didn't care. It's still legal to this day, nobody cares. Alright, let's see. Fist about to happen to your face in a moment. Yeah, basically, like, if they were to let me play my card, I was like, alright. I activate my fist and attack your life points directly. Like, enough of this timing and priority nonsense. But I wanted a new hype emote. Oh, you gotta get to level 3 for the hype emote? Fair, fair. You're welcome, Lampy? Yeah. Honey equals penny. I don't get it. Okay, didn't see any reason to pun. Oh. Nope, I'm not reading the rest of that. I'm glad because GOAT format gets hit. True. I forgot what cards needed to get hit in GOAT format other than Yada. Actually, I think they had Yada banned, so thank God on that. But I'm trying to think. What other cards what cards got hit in the... I know Sangan got hit. Which, I will say that is one of those, that's one of those hits where I'll personally admit that, I was okay with Sangan. I was okay with the Sangan effect from back in the day. Hearing that one got hit now, like, yeah, I suppose. Yes, I suppose. Unfortunately, that was one of those cards where everybody had... Okay, not even so much unfortunately. Fortunately, everybody had that card. So I was like, hey, you know what? If we all have that card, I feel like it's not so bad, but... yeah, I suppose. And then you had Sinister Serpent. I'll be honest, I can never remember why I know Sinister Serpent was broken back in the day, and it only got... Actually, did it get worse over time? When I say worse, I mean, did it get more broken over time? I don't know. All I know is that there was a time where Sinister Serpent, that was a big hitter, and then they banned that card. I personally was sitting there like, I don't... Oh, wait, I know why it was banned, because there was a lot of cards that required you to discard, and if you had Sinister Serpent, just discard the Sinister Serpent, bring it back to your hand, do it again, repeat the process. If you had cards that needed discarding, Sinister Serpent was right there, so you didn't really have to worry about too much. So I know why they did it for that stuff. Alright, we're gonna need to get more parts here. We're gonna need to pull that point down. Maybe not that one. Let's select the other side then. Yeah, let's select this side and pull that part up. Pull that part up. Maybe that part as well. Also, I almost forgot. Let's give a shout out to Yuriko. Really unhinged streams. Absolute insanity. Really hilarious stuff. I almost just forgot one more other thing. Let's give a shout out to Manexus. Can be chill streams. can be chaotic, they're usually chaotic in the low energy kind of way, where it's very chill streams, but the things that are said, you're not going to be ready for the things that are said. So yeah, go check out Menexus. Go check out Yuriko. Yuriko's more of the streams where, yeah, you know you're going to hear some unhinged stuff, you just don't know what it's going to be. But yeah, it's going to be insanity.
You are absolutely right, ha ha ha.
Yeah, basically that. Let's see. Oh, I'm sad because GOAT format got hit, or gets hit. Okay, yeah, honestly, that's also fair. Because again, Sangan. What you mean? I say normal things. Mm-hmm. I remember those Wukong streams. I think you were also playing Yakuza. Wait, were you playing Yakuza? I feel like I saw you playing Yakuza. Okay, to be fair, I saw a lot of people playing Yakuza, so...
Moth dog supremacy.
No hot dog. No moth dog. Also, welcome on in there, Panda. Let's give a shout out to Panda. If you don't know, we're working on an animation for Panda. Gonna come out great. It's also a lot of work, but it's gonna come out great. Go check out Panda. Go check out Menexus. Go check out Yuriko. All great streams. Panda's very chill streams. Unless it's a horror game. Then you're gonna hear a lot of cursing. It's hilarious. I highly recommend it. I play a wide variety of games, so I'll let find out. You know what? Honestly, fair. Fair and reasonable. Alright, so now that we got that section done, let me test this out again. Okay, something is definitely off now, because this bottom lip isn't quite doing what it should have been doing. We're gonna need to delete that spot. Okay, and this is why mouth rigging is a pain. Because then you got points like that where it just don't quite match up the way it's supposed to. We are gonna figure this out. You know what? I think I finally understand. It looks fluffy. Yo, I'm glad that you like it. Just wait till we get the chinchilla all set up. Yo, Mally, welcome on in. How you be? Thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Let's give a shout out to Mally. If you haven't checked out Mally, I highly recommend that you do. Also, a very chill stream with very chaotic energy. If that makes any sense. Okay, a very chaotic stream with very chill energy. That's the one. Very chill energy, very chaotic. You never know what you're gonna get. And everybody stopping by from Mally's stream. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized moth. Yes, the bug is the streamer. Yes, that is a shotgun. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some Live2D Rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. We are currently working on Rat model. Rat. And I am struggling with mouth rigging, because mouth rigging is a pain. But I think I finally understand why you add the mouth lip, and yeah, I think I finally understand why you add the lip and the mouth line to the same deformer thing, if that makes any sense. And I gotta fix all of that up one more time. So we gotta work on that. And I hope you had a good day. I hope you enjoyed your stay. I hope you, how was Oblivion? I hope Oblivion was good. I hope it was well. Welcome on in there, Butt Pineapples. Hope things are going well. Mouth rigging is so hard. It is. Like, even when you know how the rig works, it's still a pain. It is still definitely a pain. That is why whenever I get to the point where it's like, okay, now I have to rig the mouth. Hooray. Send help. That's when we get to this point. I'm just sitting here like, somebody send help. I don't want to be here anymore. Let's try this again. We're going to delete that one. We're going to go to this part. We're going to delete that one. Let me test this out all over again. Okay. Sadly, I gotta write and run. All good, all good. And I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, a great week, and rest well. And again, I thank you greatly for the raid. You take care now there, friend. I've been trying to learn. That's fair, that's fair. So I've learned one thing. We're gonna need to, backtrack on this one again. We're gonna have to go to the mouth lips. We're gonna need to fix those up. I'm not a fan of how we gotta fix these up, but, we gotta do what we gotta do. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can fix this. Let's, backtrack a little more. Get all those points again. And figure out just where on earth we messed up. Boy, this is gonna be a tricky one, but, yeah, you know what? Let's go back to everything here. Let's select all that. We're gonna have to do this all over again. Okay, so... as much as I don't want to. Gonna have to do this all over again. Wait, actually, there might be a way around all of this. Let's see if we can... change things up a bit. I got an idea. I'm going to delete everything except for the main three here. Put that back where it originally was. And what we're going to do next is select these 2 points, put it back in the center. And we're going to go to the mouth tracking. We're going to delete this one. Put that spot right back there. Move it back in the center. And see if this will fix the problem. Because what I want to do is get the lip... yeah, what I want to do is get the upper lip and the bottom, and the mouth line to be under the same deform path. I'm gonna see what I could do to make that happen. To see if that's possible. Nope, not the way I had hoped. Alright, we're gonna have to do this the manual way. We're gonna have to take these, we're gonna have to take this deform path. We're gonna have to delete them. I don't want to. This is what we gotta do. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's go back. Let's go back. I might be able to turn this thing around. I might be able to turn this thing around, and as a matter of fact, there's a possibility. Let me see. Deform. Okay, deform around the mouth. But can I select more than just the mouth? No, I cannot. Well, it was worth a shot. Alright, let's go back. That's one path gone. Let's go to this one, remove that path. And here's how we're going to have to set it up manually. So, let's get the upper lip and the top mouth line. And then, since they're both selected, this is when we add the... Oh, right. We also got to remove these forms. Which is an unfortunate circumstance, but we got to do what we got to do. Alright, going back to it. Let me see. So, back to the upper lip. Get our deform path. Wait, why is it still not working? Oh, that's why. We need to put it as a plus sign now, so let's put that dot, and then just a middle dot right here. One more dot up there. Middle dot right here. One more dot at the edge of that mouth. Put one dot at the corner. And then we need to add one more up top there. Pull that up. Add one more up here. Move that. And we are all set. I believe this should be where it needs to be. And now, whenever we use this, it will select both the inside of the mouth as well as the... It'll select the mouth and the lip. And this is also why we have the problem. Also, I just realized I missed the question on Glass Shark. Welcome on in there, Glass Shark. I don't know if you're still there, but I apologize. Hello, I have a question. Yo, what's up there, young goat? What is your question? Let me know what question you have, and I will see if I can answer it to the best of my ability. Did I follow you, yes or no? No. You shouldn't. It was a very, very boring stream. With bugs. I don't know what else to tell you. Done? Done. Fantastic. Alright. Let me see. Next move. What do we got to do here? So, we're going to go to mouth form, because now we got to set that up properly. Take this dot, move it to the right. We got to make that happy smile on the rat face again. But this is going to be a little bit trickier, but we're going to try our best. Young Goat, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Crew. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lamping now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. I'm going to anyway because you're a bug. You know what? Fair, fair, fair. I respect that. Bugs. I hate bugs. Unfollows. Honestly, if someone looked at it like, bug, yeah, not my cup of tea, I'd look at it like, you know what, I respect that. Bugs ain't gonna be everybody's cup of tea. But you know what? Bugs do bug things. So this bug is just gonna keep on bugging. Or something along those lines. I don't know. I need food. Also, folks, this is why I wasn't too big of a fan of adding the upper lip as a... this is why I wasn't that big of a fan of putting the upper lip as a whatchamacallit thingy. As part of the deformer. Or the deform path. Because this is going to happen and it's going to be a bit of a pain to work with. Just a bit. It's going to be manageable, but I'm not a fan. There we go. Now we got to go to the upper lip and do the exact same thing. Or the lower lip and do the exact same thing. We got to select those points and start it all over again. Yo, Gothic, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lamping now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Put the gun down, bunny. I have a shotgun too. Yeah? And? I ain't gonna stop me. But actually, we do gotta put the shotgun down because I gotta switch to the 1.0 models. So switch out Lampy. I shoot back. Yeah. Same here. Anyway, back to the 1.0 model. That's not the 1.0 model, that's just the plushie models. That's not what I'm looking for. I give up? That's what's up. Alright, there we go. 1.0. Which is funny, because now I got a 1.0 for both the bug and the bird. So there you go. All set. You win? Nice. Also, for those of you seeing, this is, okay. This is both the first humanoid model and the first Live2D model that I've ever worked on. Lampy is the first, Lampy is the first Live2D model I've ever worked on. The bird up there is the first humanoid model I've ever drawn and rigged from start to finish. So, yeah. If you ever wanted to know, how does it, are you and Guy? I don't know, you tell me. Yes. Anyway, so, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? For those of you who don't know, you're not a woman? Nope. The bird is a mascot. Lampy is the streamer. Yo, what's up? So there's your answer there. That's your answer there, friend. Is Lampy a garden gnome? It might be. Give me a hat and, yeah, give me a hat, put me in a garden, there you go. There's your answer. I'm only and cat. You know what, fair. I thought you were a goat. Usually the other way around, the creature being the mascot. Yeah, basically. For those of you that don't know, if you want to know the lore, there's two different answers as to why the bird is there on the stream. Answer number one, lore-wise, there's your answer. Go check out the comic. 2, I do Live2D commissions. But I also needed to show that I can make a humanoid Live2D model. So, in order to show that I can make a Live2D model, I had to make one. But I wasn't going to just make a humanoid Live2D model and just have it collect dust. Because of that, I decided I was going to implement it into the stream. Thus, I had to make a lore comic. And segues right back to the lore comic over there. So there you go. There's your answer. Alright, now let's get back to the rigging at hand. Let me see. Cult mention? There was no cult mention. Also, welcome on in there, Swees. How you be? So it's a moth? It is a moth. Hold on a minute. Let me try to find the 1.0. Or, you know what? Once the time machine thing is done, then I'll show the moth wings and all of that. Because, yes, bug has wings. All of that crazy stuff. All of that nonsense. Absolute insanities. Alright, let's see. Gnome 1. I'm not reading the rest of that. Anyway, so getting back to the rig at hand. We're gonna drag this part down. Go to, oh, right. Before anything else, we put it back to normal. We go back to our deform path. And then we click here and there. And one more in the middle. One more over here. And then one more at the corner. And then we are all good. We are all set. But yeah, hope you're having a good day there, Sweets. Alright, now that we got all that done. Let me see. Now it's time to go back to the top lip. Actually, no, before we go back to those lips, boom, there we go. Let's put the 3 lines on the mouth form. Go back to the top lip over here. And now we make the frowny face. The frowny face, or yeah, the frowny face and all that dumb stuff. Let's go to this part. Drag that point down, drag this middle point down, drag that corner down or something along those lines. We're going to try to make a triangle shape. That is our game plan. That is our goal. Actually, let's bring this back. Oh, wait, no, that is kind of on the sides. That is kind of on the... Let's pull this back a little bit further out. Then we take that corner, pull that one further out. That should be okay. Let's go back to the main point here. Let's have that aim down, point there. Pull this back a little bit. And right there should be okay. Yeah, I want to say that should be all right. However, that entire spot's a mess, and this is why mouth rigging is a pain. Because that entire shape just got warped out of proportion. And I am not a fan. Not a fan of how this looks at all. But we gotta do what we gotta do. I gotta take all these points, fix them up a little bit. Get our brush. Fix as many of these points as we possibly can. Take that point, pull this one back. And we should be good. We should be set. And this should be all right. Let's also remove that box. You know what? I think... Yeah, no. We should probably still fix this regardless. Because I'm looking at this thinking to myself, this should be fine as is, right? It should be okay. Yeah, no, chances are, if I leave this alone, and I leave this as is, it's going to probably become a bigger issue later down the road. And I'd rather it not be an issue later down the road, so let's handle it now. So I don't have to handle it later. Perfect example, whatever on earth this all is. I'm not a fan of whatever all this is. So let's fix that. But yeah, with that being said, how is everybody's Tuesday? I apologize that tomorrow's Wednesday, that part's gonna suck. But you know what? You're almost to Thursday, and that's what matters. You just deal with Wednesday, and Thursday's right around the corner. And when Thursday's there, that means Friday is almost there. So you're almost there to Friday when you really think about... No, you're not. I'm just giving you false optimism right now. You're not close to Friday. But Friday is... It is looming ever closer. So there's that. Yeah. It's funny that you threaten new followers with a shotgun. I mean, I've threatened everybody with a shotgun. And to be perfectly fair, they asked, should I follow? I told them no. They followed anyway. So, I gave them a fair warning. Okay, so that spot should be a lot better in comparison to where it was originally. That one, on the other hand, yeah, we're gonna need to get to work on that side. I feel like there's an easier way to do this, and I don't know what it... Yeah, I feel like there's an easier way to do this, and I don't know what it is. But that is definitely something I need to figure out. Like, what is the easier way to get around this entire upper lip problem when it comes to Live2D meshes? There's a way around this. And I have never found out what it was. And I have never seen it on any videos yet either. So that's the part that always confused me the most, is like, you know what? You know what it probably is? Maybe I need less meshes. Maybe this needs to be smaller meshes. Maybe that's what I need to do with this. Smaller meshes, less problems. You know what? I think it's time for experimentation time. Yeah, I think it's time to experiment on something. Let's see what happens if there's less mesh. We're about to find out. Also, ads start in 10 seconds. It's 1:45 on a Wednesday for me. You know what? Then that means you're already in a Wednesday. There you go. A couple more days before Thursday. Or a couple more days before Friday. You're almost there. You got this. Just doing my best given IRL stuff going on. Honestly, that's the best you can do. That's the best that is possible. If that's the best that... Yeah, actually, yeah. If that's the best that you have at the moment, then that's the best you could have at the moment. So long as, you know, you're making the best of it, that's what really matters. Because I know some folks where they have problems, they got issues, they have circumstances, and even though their circumstances aren't easy, I've also heard from them that they just haven't put any effort in improving their circumstances. And that's an unfortunate situation because, you know, if a circumstance is not to your liking, then it's time to push forward. It's time to put one foot in front of the other. Now, it's not going to be easy fix. It's not going to be an easy solution. And whenever you're working on things, sometimes you may end up in a situation where it's not always a steady or drastic improvement. Sometimes when you're working on improving things for yourself, sometimes there may be moments where you teeter, where you fall, where you topple. And that's okay. Those moments will happen. Where it's not always going to be a... Yeah, like I said, it's never going to be a steady incline. Sometimes you'll have drops. Sometimes you'll have failings. Sometimes you'll have backtracks. And that's okay. So long as you're still trying to improve and move forward. Not everyone's going to be like that, though. There will be some folks where they just have no intention of improving, but, you know, they still want to complain about their current situation, which is okay, but, you know, at the same time, you can at least try to improve the situation you have, even if it's not easy. That's the best way to go about it. I find it fun that Lampy is always more cautious about reading what I type. Of course. Because I know you're always trying to sneak in a pun. My therapy session to feel better. Tormenting the moth. And banned. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let me see. Time machine. That was 14 minutes ago. We got another good 16 minutes. Although it's also going to be 11 soon. I might have to call it soon. I'll figure that out when we get there, though. Alright, so this should be okay. Let's go to the bottom lip on this one. Alright, so that part's fine. We don't really need to move the bottom lip for most of these other parts. This side of the mouth is a little long, though, so let's pull that corner back. Now, let's see. Let's Let's move back. Let's see the mouth. Let's pull that part up. That part up. Move that lip a little bit. Let's zoom out. That seems okay. All right, so we got the mouth shape. Again. Took a minute, but we got back there. I will continue the mouth rigging again next week. Because, or yeah, next week? Tell you what, Saturday, because I want to get this mouth rigging done. So Saturday, I will be back to work on the rat. Actually, you know what? Maybe tomorrow. No. Tomorrow I got things to do. I gotta work on that ticket. Anyway, so Saturday, I'm gonna be back with the rigging. So look forward to that. Because I need to work on the mouth rig, and I know that's going to take me a minute. But once I'm done with the mouth rig, smooth sailing from there. We might even be able to finish it if I could finish the mouth rigging on Saturday. We might be able to finish this entire model if I could just finish that mouth rigging. Because yes, mouth rigs suck. I haven't heard a single, I don't know a single person that does the Live2D rigging that enjoys working on the mouth rig. That one's a struggle bus all on its own. So I'll see you all on Friday, or yeah. Well, I'll be back on Friday to work on a drawing stream. I gotta work on I gotta continue the Cam the Corgi art piece. For those of you that don't know what that one is, let me show you right quick. Let's hide that. Let's hide that. Where did it go? It's around here somewhere. This one. I have to finish off an art redeem for a Cam the Corgi. This is what they requested. So I have to get back to this one. Where's Photoshop? Let's hide that. So I got to continue this art piece. I just got to work on the background, maybe some more lighting effects, that sort of stuff. So I will see you then. I will catch up at that point. The tail rig will still take time, and it's double this model unless you plan to clone it. Oh, the tail rig? You'd be surprised, but that one will actually be rather quick. You'll see when we get there. Also, welcome on in there, Power Goose. Can't believe I'm dragged back into Yu-Gi-Oh! On Sunday. You know what? Honestly, fair. I can't believe I'm being dragged back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, you all take care now. I'm gonna find someone to raid. I'm gonna see who is on at this hour that we could drop everybody off on. Where can I drop everybody? Where can I leave all you folks? Who is on at this hour? Maybe an art stream. Maybe some Phasmo. Maybe something. Maybe some Elden Ring Night Rain. I don't know. Darkest Dungeon? Oh wait, you know what? I know where I could drop you folks off on. I see there's an EB. They are playing some Mario Kart. I'm gonna drop you folks off with some Mario Kart. I mean, you can't really spoil Mario Kart, right? I don't know. I'm gonna drop you folks off with an EB. Show them respect. All of that stuff. And we're just going to drop you folks off over there. Lampy, what are you doing in my house? This is my house. Get out. All right. Let me see. We're going to drop you folks off with an EB. They play the Mario Karts. They play Pikmin. Overall, really chill streams. Let's drop you folks off over there. And like I said, I'll be back on Friday to finish off the cam stream or the cam art piece. So look forward to that. Saturday, I'll be working on the rat model again. Let's bring the rat model back. I'll be working on that rat model, work on the mouth rigs and all of that. And if I could finish off the mouth rig in time, I might be able to finish off the entire model by then. We'll find out. Also, for the raid message, as per usual, here is the raid message. Here is our raid message. Use those emotes if you have them. Use whatever emotes you have if you don't. And we are going to be raiding out to an EB Demon. They play a good variety of games. They're also trying to learn Live2D Rigging. So let's go show some support over there. And thank you all for stopping by. If you would like to support this channel, one good way you can do so is by checking out the link page. We got a lot of stuff over there. We got the YouTube channel over there. We got affordable models on the Etsy page, where the rat is going to be. We got free stuff on the coffee page. We got merch on the Teespring page. And if you or someone you know is looking for Live2D models, both big and small, emotes, assets, art pieces, character sheets, character concepts, even animations, you can either have them contact me directly, or you could go to the vgen page over there. Whichever choice works best for you, or whoever it is that you know that's looking for that. Yeah, there you go. With that being said, I hope you all have a good night, a better tomorrow, and always remember, you're all awesome in your own way, because you folks make these streams and this community what it is. It's awesome chatting with you folks, cracking jokes, brainstorming, all that good stuff. And if you lurk, that's great too. But the fact that you took the time out of your day to have this bug rambling on and all of that means more to me than you could possibly imagine. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All right. Raid's about to start, so I hope you all have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. You all take care now. Laters.